Hello everybody, this is Danny and Wanda from Deep South Homestead out here again this morning, guys. Yes, it's cold, but it's still time to get the seed started, because in the Deep South, we're probably 4 to 5 weeks away from our last frost date. So in order for us to have our plants ready to get an early jump on everything, we're going to try to get some seed started today, and we're going to take you along on what we're doing, what we're planting. We won't do a lot of things this year because we have so much from last year still, but we're going to be still keeping the ball rolling. We want some fresh stuff coming along. It's the beauty of the high tunnels. We're able to eat fresh all year, so it keeps us from having to have so much at any one given time. Now in this number 3 wash tub here, I have my seed starting mix. Now, if you're going to start seeds, the key to anything is good starting mix. A lot of people just go get pot and soil and come put it in here. This is our seed starting mix. Now what we do, let me say this before we get any further. I have a video over on Patreon that shows how we made this. If you want to see that, you'll have to go over to Patreon. But this is a good, you see how it is? When you start little seedlings, you want a good soft mixture. You don't want all them big old chunks of wood in it and stuff like that. You want to have a good medium so that when you wet it down, the seeds come up and they can push through this real easy, especially small seeds. And that's basically, we're going to be planting a lot of those today, are small ones. This is our seed starting trays. Now these are Hoss Tool seed starting trays. We love these because they are so heavy duty. And they're designed, they have little ribs down in them. I don't know if we can get it on the camera or not. One thing we like about the back of it here is when you get your little plants in there, you can take a pencil, the eraser in, and push it in here and push them plants out. They come out so easy. And the other side, we can get it where the light's just right. You see they got little grooves in these. All these little cubicles have grooves in them. That is made to force the roots to grow straight down in this little cubicle and not sit here and run around in circles like you get in a lot of these seed starting trays. Now we use different seed starting trays, but predominantly the Hoss Tool ones are the ones that we use in the greenhouse. Now we have another type tray we're going to be using. It will have a dome over it. Those are for seeds that don't go in the greenhouse to start. They can start in your house, out here on the table or whatever. They have a dome over them that creates a atmosphere, a humid environment for them to come up in. These don't have that. These will go in our old greenhouse where we have our seed starting racks to actually get our seeds up and growing. And now let's see if we can get some of this in here. Get this up here because I don't want to make a mess. We're going to just take it, and I just roughly throw it over it. I'll rub it back and forth. I don't know if I have enough made to completely fill this tray or not, but we're going to see here if I do. And this is already kind of like pre-moistened, just a little bit. Now you don't have to do that, it's just that mine is. Okay, we're back here now. We're on our, this is another thing, we're on our carport we built, our little shed we built off of the carport here, the she shed. We had several reasons for wanting to do this back here, and this is one of them, because we needed a place to be able to work and work comfortably. Now the table that I'm working on here was, my grandfather was a cobbler, and this was his old table that he used, and I went and got it. It was given to me by my mother because it was her father that owned it. When my mother passed away, she had told me that I could have it, so we went and got it. And we brought it here, and I've redone it. I didn't take any of the patina away from anything on it. I just left it like it was and kind of put some good sealers and stuff like that over it to kind of preserve it. Now I did repaint the top on it because it was a galvanized top, and I repainted it. Of course, you know, the paint's not holding well on it because it's old, but guys, we're refurbishing some of the past here at Deep South Homestead. I'm all about that. I'm all about using stuff that was made to last.
And boy, is this table heavy.
It is heavy. My grandpa, he built my mom and dad's first home. It was actually his house to start with. And he gave it to my mom and dad when they got married, and he built him another home. And it had, well, let me put it to you. I'm going to put it to you the way my daddy and my mama told me. They said if your grandpa had 10 pounds of lumber, he had 5 pounds of nails in it. And when the guy actually moved the old house for him out to the property that my dad had bought, he said he'd never seen a house that was that sturdy, that didn't move. He said, I picked it up on one corner and the whole other side picked up with it. He said, I wasn't even worried about moving it because it was built so rigid. My grandpa was just that way.
And I think Danny took after him. Every wall has more nails than it has boards.
Yeah, I believe in structure now. Okay. We have this done. Now what I'm going to do, this is what I do, because, get that up there, because this, you put water in this eventually, and you see some of the seed start mix went through it, and I don't want to waste it. And I don't want to have it in the water.
So you clean your tray back off.
So I clean my tray back off and go through here, and because the seed start mix is a little damp, I like to get it. I'm all about being clean. Some people don't. They just throw stuff around, and hey, that's fine. If that's what you want to do, it's just not what I want to do. All right.
Now we ready to start seed.
We got that over, and I had plenty. I got enough to do half another tray. This is a few of the things that we're going to be starting here. We've got our yellow Marconi sweet peppers. Now these are the ones that we've saved ourselves. We have the sweet red roaster pepper. That's a wonderful pepper there. There was a shortage on it. It was the #1 selling pepper in the nation. A pepper. Then we're going to have the Lola banana pepper. We love those. We're going to plant a few California Wonder bell peppers. A few Merlot sweet peppers there, the purple ones, and then we're going to be planting a jalapeno pepper because we just like a little heat in a few of them there. Then we're going to do the small wonder spaghetti squash. Guys, if you ever plant a spaghetti squash, this is the squash. We planted 5 seeds last year and harvested 55 spaghetti squash. We're going to plant some gold prize yellow crookneck squashes, or straight ones. They crook in straight. They're both.
These things made amazing.
Oh,
Danny just had to finally take the plants
I just had to finally pull the plants up. They just kept going. No vine borers. Nothing happened to them. The zucchini squash. Now this is the spineless beauty.
Makes awesome chips.
Awesome. And then we're going to move over. We're going to plant a few of the blueberry tomatoes. Now this is from the Indigo series. We love the little cherry tomato. It turns a dark purple when it's allowed to sit in the sun. Loaded with anthocyanins, great cancer fighter. We're going to plant some Amish paste up here. These are seeds we've saved. Great for making ketchups and stuff like that out of salsas and stuff. The Creole tomato, we're going to plant some of those. And y'all going to notice these seeds are from 16 and 17. So guys, we don't worry about the age of them. We just, they still working out fine. We're going to plant some Cherokee purples. We love the taste of those. And then we have another variety here. This is called an early girl for the early gardeners. It is a Umberto pear tomato. It's a smaller tomato, a little small one. And then we have my trusty celebrity hybrids. That's the ones that's my go-to tomato. Like I said, we're not going to do a lot of seeds of each one of these because the greenhouse this past year, or the high tunnel should I say, produced so many peppers and tomatoes and cucumbers, and God, we just had gobs of everything that we planted in the fields and in the high tunnels. And we don't need that much this year because we still have a ton left over from last year. But we don't want to not do anything, so we're going to plant just a limited variety of each so that we can keep them going, because we've learned at the end of the summer we'll just replant in the high tunnels and we'll have them all winter too. So it's a year-round growing thing for us now. Okay, we're going to put one. Now guys, I just went out in the yard and got me a little stick.
You think we might ought to do 2 in each one just because of the age of them? They're 2017.
Oh, we can. It won't hurt. You don't trust our seeds?
Well, just in case.
I think 3 went in that one. It's hard to, with my fingers, it's hard to do. Just, I want 1.
I only want 2 plants, but we're planting 4 to ensure that I have my 2.
There's 2 seeds stuck together, so I'm going to go to that one.
Okay.
I've got to go back to that other one there and get me another seed in it. Kind of tough. I have a tool to do this with. I just ain't walked to the barn and got it. 1. Did I get 1? Yes.
Okay, so we're not going to make you sit here and watch him do 120 of these things, but he's going to show you what he does.
I just take a little dirt, put over them like that. I don't do it much, because when we water it, it's going to settle the dirt down.
Okay, and I put blueberry tomato, and I put a 4 up there because it comes forward 4. And the next one's going to be the Umberto pear, and there's going to be 4 of those, and I put a 4 at the top so we can keep up with what we're doing. We're going to finish on with a whole bunch of varieties, and we'll show you what we have and how many of each.
We've got our seed tray planted. Now this is 162 cubicles in here. We've planted enough stuff here to keep us supplied for the year and didn't even use up all the cubicles. Now some of them, like the gold prize squash, we put 9 of those. The spaghettis, we did 5 of them, because we did 5 last year and had more than what we ever thought we'd need. 4 zucchinis, and we left a space in between them so we could give them a little bit of room to grow, because we had plenty of room. And then the bell peppers, we got, we divided it up, 5's in the back, 4's in the front. Now the Amish paste, we did 2 rows of them, and we did 2 rows of the celebrities, 18 of each, because we figure the celebrities and the Amish paste, in case we want to make some more salsa this year or something, that will give us more than what we probably need. And then we have our little blue cherry tomatoes here, our Creole larger tomatoes, and then our Cherokee purples here. We just did 4 or 5 of each one of them. Time you add all these tomatoes together, that's a lot of tomatoes. Okay, we just have a few of each: the sweet red roasters, our yellow Marconis, our Lola banana peppers, and our Merlot bells, and our jalapenos, and our California bells. Guys, if these 18, 21, is that right? 9, 18, 3 to 9, 27?
27.
These 27 pepper plants here, if these make,
That's way more than we
that's
need.
way more peppers than we'll ever do anything with. We didn't even have that many this year, and we had peppers running out our ears. So, but this is a lot of different varieties. If we make salsa, we will add it in with the salsa. We won't be wasting anything. And plus, we have kids and grandkids and people who probably might enjoy them if we don't need them. So, guys,
I'm taking it to the greenhouse.
yeah, we're going to take it to our old greenhouse. Because that's the one that gets the hottest. It doesn't have any ventilation on it real good, and it usually stays way warmer than it needs to be. And plus, if we need to put the warming mats in there, we got a place to plug them up. We can put the warming mats in there. We can close it down.
Plus, we have grow lights.
We've got grow lights in there. That's true. We got all the stuff in there we need, and we probably will use the grow lights on these. All right, guys, we're in our old greenhouse. This was the first one we originally built. It was made out of Tough Tex polycarbonate panels. It's been a fantastic greenhouse. This is a true greenhouse. It has very little ventilation issues with it. I mean, it just does really well as far as staying warm. We have our homemade heat lamp here. We have our grow light here that we'll put stuff underneath to grow. And you can see some of the results from some of it. It's fantastic. We've got the pineapples in the pots here. So this is where we like to start our stuff, is up on here, because we got a shelf. The sun comes through the polycarbonate panels. I mean, it's really nice to work with here. All right, guys. We have a little strip grow lights here also. I mean, we have all kinds of grow lights. We've got the kind that screws in the top, the kind that fits here. And this is a full spectrum grow light. We have heating pads to go up underneath it here should it get too cold. You know, and our weather, let me tell you, it don't take nothing here, and this thing will be 100 degrees in here. So we're not going to put a heat mat just yet. We're going to see what the temperature is from just, you know, from the sun and outside after the first day. Now, we talked about watering these with a dram tool, but we're not in our other greenhouse. We're in this one. We don't really have running water in here. All of our water in here is gravity fed. So you have a couple of options. We have the old-fashioned spray bottles here. You know, you can mist it with that, which we do that a lot. Or Ms. Wanda went and bought one of these little Jim Dandy little pump sprayers here. This thing is like, I mean, and you can adjust the nozzle to, I'm sure, to whatever you want here. Yeah, there it is. Oh yeah, you can.
I love that thing. It does so good.
Oh, this is nice. No finger pumping. Really nice for watering stuff. Now what we'll do is we will water the tops of these really good, and then we will pour water in the tray where it will wick up from the bottom. That way we don't have to come out here every day and keep watering the top. We'll just check the bottom, and once the bottom is, once this thing gets saturated with water, you don't really have to touch it after that.
Roots grow down and they start growing to the water.
They hunt the water and go to the water. If you keep watering the top, what happens is, if you're not careful, the bottom will dry out and your roots don't ever get any water at the bottom. So we fill the tray with water, about that much water in it the first day, and then we'll look at, usually we'll wick it all out, and then we'll add just a little bit each day to make sure that we don't want them sitting in water, but you want the roots to hunt the water. So that's what we'll be doing on those. Now, this thing here, oh, this is just so
Don't you like that? Danny hasn't used that before.
This is the first time I've used it, yeah.
I've been using it in my greenhouse, which means I got to have another one.
That means we got to go get more. Yeah, but that's the beauty of living on a homestead. You're always finding out new things, guys. I mean, it's just, this is really nice. My fingers aren't give out from pumping.
It's just a beauty, and it's small. It's not heavy.
Not heavy at all.
And you can, I mean, if you had multiples, you could put like your Miracle Grow in some. You could put your Bloomin' Grow in some.
Yeah.
Just water for like this. I mean, you could have a variety of them and
you ain't toting a big sprayer around with a long hose.
Yeah. I mean, it's just amazing. I love it.
Yeah, this is going to work out really good. Now, we didn't plant nothing in these center ones here, so I'm not worried about watering them. But we just want to make sure we get saturated on the top really good. I think this is going to work out real nice.
Okay, I'm going to show them something right quick. All right, look guys at these two. These are my giant aloe plants, and I get babies off of them. There's babies all under there, and I can put some more up on Etsy probably, because I see several under there the size I can sell. But look, you see this right here? That is a bloom.
That's rare.
First time ever in Mississippi. Nobody I know has had blooms unless they're in Florida, deep into Texas, some of your tropical places. And I've got two blooming this year. It's gotten really warm, really crazy, and I'm
that's
excited.
The beauty of this greenhouse. This greenhouse has not been heated all winter yet. That's why we use this one for seed starting, because it stays so warm. And should it get down, like, say, in the teens, all we got to do is plug in this homemade heat lamp right here. And guys, this is a homemade heat lamp. This is a 200-watt heat lamp like you put on baby chicks. I took a, you know me, I'm building something always. I took a recessed canister light. That's what this is right here at the top. That's a recessed canister light. I took the bottom off of a ceiling fan fixture and I screwed it to it, and then I made just a metal thing to wrap around it, and I took 5-gallon bucket lid handles and I put here for something in case something wouldn't touch it, and I just made my own heat lamp out of it. So I mean, it's just, you can engineer whatever you need on a homestead. I mean, this thing, we've had it for years and it works really, really good. And then we have the Bloom Plus grow light back here that we'll probably be using as soon as these begin to emerge and we can get them away from right there where we can sit them over here. We'll put them under the grow light. And guys, we'll just watch them pop and go. We mentioned that we had a gravity water fed system in here, and guys, that's what this is. It feeds from the gutter outside, comes down in here, fills the barrel up. I have an overflow here that runs back outside, and the beauty of this is I can water every pot in here in less than 5 minutes, and it's all done with gravity. You see the water begins to come out. Every pot gets watered. And I always know when it's reached over here because I will hear it start making a spewing noise. Doesn't take long. Here it comes, I hear it. There it is. Already got air going in it.
And we look at my violets blooming. This is a wild violet that just came up in here, and I left it, and it's blooming in January. Isn't that awesome? No, this is February.
It's February.
February. And then by Danny is the moringa. It's starting to come out. We've had this in here 2 years. 2 years
now.
And I trimmed it back, and it's starting to come back out.
We cut a limb off of it and stuck it in the ground behind it, and it's starting to
it's starting to grow. So we're going to transplant some of the moringa.
Now, when I turn this off over here, see, these are beginning to, the pots are beginning to fill up with water. When I turn this off, there's still enough water left in the lines that will allow each pot to get equal amounts of water. So that is our gravity-fed water system in the old greenhouse. I hope today's been a little educational and show you what we're doing here at Deep South Homestead. Today, you always want to know the date. Today is February the 5th. Time to start your plants in the Deep South. Thank you guys from Deep South Homestead.